great day, attractive thinker. Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Break. Give yourself a fighting chance. We are excited to be back here with you today. We're going to be talking about breaking free from what's breaking you. Welcome, my co-host, Tichet Bradshaw, to another episode of Beyond the Break. Give yourself a fighting chance.
Happy Mindset Monday, everybody. It's so awesome to be back. We're back and we're better. This is our season. This is a season to do what we've never did, go where we've never gone, and have all that we deserve to have in this lifetime. And I pray that you all are doing well and have been doing well. And it is such a wonderful day to be alive.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Attractive thinkers, I trust that you have your notebook and your pen handy to catch these gems, these truths that will set you free as you enjoy and engage and just be in tune. I want you to tune in, pay close attention. Sometimes, we hear messages, or it might be an audio, it might be a video, and sometimes you can multitask and feel like, oh, I'll listen while I do this. This time I want you to tune in. I want you to hear this message. Dr. Toni Hatton here, your identity coach and break the cycle specialist. We get to the root for new and aspiring entrepreneurs. Why? Because we have mental struggles and mental barriers and challenges that we have to overcome while we're creating and giving birth to our dreams. So we provide mental resources for mental strength, mental healing, and mindset maintenance. When we talk about breaking free from what's breaking you, sometimes, Tachet, attractive thinkers may not be aware. I know when I was breaking on the inside, I wasn't aware that I was breaking. Sometimes you can sacrifice yourself away or sacrifice yourself into something, and you're so engrossed in getting the result and from the action that you're taking that you're not aware that something's going on inside of you in the process. You're not aware that you're losing something while you're trying to obtain something. As a new and aspiring entrepreneur, it's possible for that to happen. That's why we, here at the Attractive Thinker, this movement, we support you in really putting you first, making you a priority so that you don't lose yourself. And Tachet, I'm sure you can speak to this as well as the visual encourager. We need that encouragement while we're pursuing our goals and creating this fantastic and amazing life that we're living. We need that encouragement, or that thing inside of us, which is our heart, it begins to break, it begins to pull back, it begins to close, and we're not aware that we're breaking while we're trying to break free. Talk to us today, Tachet.
Yes, absolutely. When you're not aware, you tend to take life at face value, meaning you look at the stuff you're going through and it doesn't allow you to see that there's a deeper meaning or a deeper message. Sometimes when we are breaking, we just know our feelings are hurt. We just know emotionally I feel a certain way. We just know that it feels dark and tired. We're weary at the time. We don't realize that when we are actually breaking, number one is for a purpose, and there's a meaning. But in that time of the breaking, you can't even put your mind on the meaning because you're so busy trying to just feel better or trying to understand why this is going on or what happened. You're so caught up in the the way that everything played out and not the meaning of why things played out. It's like playing a game and not know you're in the game, or not knowing that there's a game to be played. But when you know that you are in a game or there is a game to be played, you don't put your whole hope and your whole mind on the face value of the game because it is a game. There's more to this than that. You also know that you were designed to win, right? The whole game of life, you were designed to win. But we sometimes we have to push past that thing that is breaking us. But at first we have to acknowledge the break. This is why we are doing Beyond the Break, because we're trying to show people that there's life beyond the break, but we have to first show you this is where you were broken,
Mhm.
or this is where you are being broken, but life doesn't have to stop there. This is the mindset that you've had that caused you to feel broken. When you understand your why and your purpose, and then you get to actually see your fullness and your power, you'll see that life had you winning in mind.
Mhm.
You'll see that the power that's on you have been there all along, even through the breaking point. We have dealt with so many people who are survivors. People who were survivors of, domestic violence, rape survivors, people who have been bullied, people who have been homeless, people that lost it all. Many of us were surviving things that we didn't know we were surviving. We was just trying to stay afloat. We was just trying to keep our head above the waters. But at that time, there was something in you that was being exposed. There was something in you that was being developed in the midst of the break. But what you put your mind on makes all the difference in the world. So um, if you are going through something right now, and you feel that pressure, you feel that heartbreak, you feel that, I can't wait till it's over, you feel that anxiousness.
Mhm.
When you look beyond the game and know that it's designed for you to win and keep your mind on that, then you'll allow the meaning of your life to pull you past it so you can see what it was all for. The meaning of life, of your personal life, will help you push forth anything that thought that it could break you. We can become broken, but we don't stay broken.
Mhm.
We can get down. Dr. Tony, you always say all the time, a champion goes there, but they don't stay there. Meaning we can get knocked down, but you best believe we're going to get up.
Mhm.
So in the midst of breaking, and you don't know you're breaking, we have to really pay attention, because this is not the time to do woe is me. This is not the time to play victim. This is not to say, what did I do wrong? I'm not worthy. This is not the time to do any of that. Let's flip the script a little bit and say, what power did I need to produce in order to go through this right now?
Mhm.
What did I need to build? What did I need to expose to go through this right now? What type of thing is being birthed in me to allow me to contract in pain? So when we put our minds on that, all things will be revealed. Back to you, Dr. Tony.
That's so true, Tishet. While you were talking, I was taking some notes, and I want to track the thinkers to understand what the word break means. We hear that a lot. And, we talk about things like this on our Beyond the Break episodes, because sometimes you can hear something over and over and over and it can lose its effect. When we talk about, see, the word break is a very strong word. Imagine breaking a pencil. It takes force to do that. When you hold that pencil and you keep bending and bending and pulling and putting pressure on it until it snaps, that takes a lot of effort. So we're talking about breaking free from what's breaking you. Number one, it's taking a lot of effort to break you down. It takes a lot of energy and pressure to break you down. And in order to break free from that pressure and that experience, you're going to have to use force. Have you ever heard someone say, it was a book that I was reading one time, somebody had written, it was called Take It by Force. Now, when you talk about breaking free, you can't break free casually. You can't break free with your hair all together and everything looks fantastic and amazing. You can't break free when you dot all your I's and cross your T's. You can't break free if you're afraid of what's going to change in the environment or the people in it around you when you change. You can't break free worrying about anything other than your freedom, freeing yourself, breaking free from what's breaking you. See, Tishette, this is a value issue as well, because when we don't understand our value, we don't think it matters that we're breaking. When we don't understand our value, we aren't alarmed. We don't have the right triggers in place when we're breaking. And then when that takes place, breaking can become just a normal routine. Breaking, somebody breaking you, or something breaking you, or an experience, a situation can be just come a way of life. If we don't see our value, we get conditioned to walking around broken, and conditioned to having broken experiences. Oh, and other people, here's the thing. When our triggers, if our triggers are not in place, our proper triggers are not in place, when we are breaking, we can't respond because we can't feel. You can't feel that rip. When that person said that to you, your heart ripped, but you didn't feel it because you were used to being talked to that way. Or your heart ripped, or your heart broke when you experienced this disappointment, but you didn't respond because you were used to being disappointed. You were already programmed and conditioned that disappointment was the way of life. So you didn't have any expectation for anything else. So how can you break free from what's breaking you if you can no longer feel the break? You can't feel the breaking. And the one way to shed, because I've experienced this myself, I was in a situation and working really hard to manage it, to fix it. That was the biggest thing for me. I had to fix it and to help it, and I was like what you said earlier. I couldn't wait until it was over. But while I was in that situation, I didn't realize, and I call it a storm within a storm. I was in a storm within a storm. Now, when you wake up, what do you do when you realize the very thing that you're working on and putting your effort and energy towards is not the only storm that's going on in your life? It's not the only storm that's raging in your life. When you turn around and you look over your shoulder, you're like, oh my God, like I can't fix this storm for worrying about that storm, or I can't worry about that storm for trying to fix this storm. A storm within a storm, and I'm breaking, not just breaking, but breaking down. I'm losing things. When the heart breaks, something leaks out, because the heart is full of treasure, your creativity, your confidence, and your courage, and your ideas, and your abundance. And when the heart is breaking like that, sometimes you can be so numb, you're leaking your treasure all over the place, and you're losing yourself in the process, and you don't even know it. So breaking free from what's breaking you, it's going to call for some energy and some effort. I remember reading a scripture in the Bible, whereas it was time for the children of Israel to be delivered from Egypt. It was time for them to be set free, and they didn't even have the strength. You can go through something so long and so much, and the weight is so heavy that when you're free and it's time for you to move on, you don't even have the strength to get up and take that first step. This is a real thing, attractive thinker, breaking free from what's breaking you. It sounds easy, but it's going to take a lot of effort. It's going to take some conscious decisions that you're going to have to make to decide to decide that, number one, you got to get crystal clear. I deserve better than this. You got to get clear on the fact that, wait a minute, this is breaking me. Or wait a minute, I don't have to take this. Or wait a minute, this is not right. Or wait a minute, I don't feel good about this. You got to get back in touch with you before you can break free. Because if you've lost you in the process, who's going to break free for you? Who's going to feel for you? Who's going to put forth the effort for you? So breaking free is going to take some focus. It's going to take consistent focus. When you're breaking something, you're putting consistent pressure on it. You're holding it, and you have a grip, and then you're bending to try and break it. And you got to be consistent. You got to be steady, and you have to be determined, and you have to be real about it. You have to believe that it's time for you to break free from this thing that's on you, or from what you're experiencing, or from what you've gotten yourself into. So many times I've gotten myself into things that I needed to break free from, and it doesn't necessarily always have to be a bad thing. I've said yes to a position. Someone said, Dr. Toni, we feel like you would be great for this position to help us do this and that and the other. I got an offer to actually be in a position to be over a community. I mean, a real community, like a neighborhood. And I knew that that was not my position at that particular time, and I had to decline. But what if I had taken that? I would have had to get the nerve to go back and tell them that I have to decline this position and you need to make it available for someone else. It takes to see that's another thing to share that's involved in this breaking free process. You have to develop the courage. It takes courage to tell someone who you've partnered with that I'm no longer feeling this, or I feel led in another direction, or I'm going to have to decline. It takes courage to do that because you start going through all of those icky feelings like, oh, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, or I don't want them to be mad at me, or I don't want them to think I'm shady, or, you go through all of this stuff just to break free. So it takes effort. I don't want to, diminish the process and what it's going to actually take for you to break free from what's breaking you, but it's worth it. And the first worth that you're going to have to discover and decide is your own worth, that you deserve to be free. And see, a lot of times, Tichet, our mind can play tricks on us and tell us and bring up all this stuff and scare us half to death about the changes that we have to make in our lives. But a lot of times, the real change begins with a decision. That's half the battle right there. Once you make that decision, the load lifts. A part of that load lifts. So maybe it's one chain that fell off. When you're breaking free, making a decision, maybe your leg gets free from the chains, and then once your leg is free, see, sometimes you don't need your whole being to be free to be free. Just freeing up one part of you is enough because you have enough power within you to set yourself all the way free. So I want you to think about it. Write that down in your Attractive Thinker notebook. It's going to take some effort. It might not feel good. You might not like hearing this part of it. These are some things that you may not hear. You might not hear speakers talk about when they talk about success or elevating or getting to another level. They tell you all the bright, shiny, beautiful things. But we're here to tell you the things that nobody else is saying or talking about, because I want to prepare you for what it's going to take, what it's going to cost you to break free from what's breaking you. Back to you, Tichet.
You said a whole mouthful there. There's some things that I want to touch on. I want to talk to the attractive thinkers and the visionaries. I want you to hear what I'm saying in a deeper way. What if I told you that the storm within storm was not meant to be fixed, because it was meant for you to break so that you can be anew, right? Because sometimes we trying to fix the old stuff and we're patching up stuff and duct taping our life when a new one is calling us. And the thing about it is we won't shift sometimes unless there's some pain. We won't make a move until we're uncomfortable. So sometimes when you're going through storm after storm after storm after storm, there's a message right there. You have to listen to your spirit. But those storms get you so deep into it. And like you said, you become numb to it. But you're so tired that you feel like you can't go forward. You're too tired to celebrate even an inch of being able to go forward, because all you know is you want out. You want it done. You want it fixed, right? But when you go through that stuff, that puts you in a position. Breaking, that's called breaking. That breaking puts you in a position to break free. The reason why I say that is because you wouldn't even think to break free had you not been trying to break through, had you not been trying to break out, and then sometimes those storms give you the courage to break all the rules. See, we got to get to a point of listening to our spirit. Your spirit said you wasn't over that community. Sometimes your spirit don't go with the grain. Sometimes the best creative stuff is from people who broke all the rules, people who wanted to test some things and to find out that they were made to be a pathfinder. They were made to do it first. They were made to go before people to see that it can be done, because up until then, everybody questioned whether or not it could be done. So
Mhm.
when you go through that breaking point and it shows you the new you, sometimes you just gotta accept that this has happened. I can't change it, but I can change me. So
Mhm.
that you don't go and recreate the same situation over and over again. Because it's possible that you go through something, you pull yourself out too fast without understanding what it is. You go thinking you're in a new life, but you have not changed, not one bit. And so you recreate the same situation over and over and over again. When you recreate that situation, sometimes you got to get to a point where you stop and you say, okay, I did everything they told me to do, and that did not work. I tried to fix it, that did not work. I tried moving forward. I put everything in it. I cried my heart out. I gave to everybody. I did this, I did that, but this didn't work. Why didn't it work? Because nothing changes until you do. There's something that's beyond imagination that holds your ability to break free. So if you're going by the rules of everybody else, how can you break through for you? Because those rules help you create the life that you had. Those rules told you that this was okay to create. But when you start getting into the spirit, when you felt like you lost everything and you have nothing else to lose, that's when you start risking it all and start breaking through some things because what do you have to lose? Now, it would be nice if a lot of us can get to a point where we don't have to always be broken in order to break the rules. We simply can just listen to our spirit. We can get a breakthrough by following what our spirit is saying, following our instinct. It's deep, but it's not really. It's just listening to that small voice ahead of you that says, don't go over there, don't talk to them, walk away from them, not being a people pleaser, not going out here doing what everybody told you to do because what works for them might not work for you. There are some things we might say that might not work for you. Test that out. There are some things you are meant to discover on your own. We are all in discovery. We are all, as a matter of fact, our show, Beyond the Break, is showing you what we have discovered along the way. It's showing you how we had to give ourselves a fighting chance when we felt like life wasn't giving us a chance. But we were wrong. Life gave us more than enough chances and still giving us chance after chance to get it right. And then when we finally decide to break free from what kept breaking our heart over and over again, breaking free from the disappointments, breaking free from relationships that don't serve you, breaking free from friendships, and breaking free from having to be stuck in with a family who does not support you, breaking free from going to places just to be going to church just to not go to hell, go to work just to because you have a job. We start see this is some real stuff here. When you get to that point of broke, the truth starts to come out. We don't have time to play reindeer games and crab habits. We don't have time to have people pull us down after we just got a new breakthrough. We just got a new mindset. And
Mm.
here you go, somebody come telling you think you too good. You
Mm.
think you think you got it going on. You should. And
Mm.
that shouldn't be a problem. That's the thing. If you have people around you telling you you think you're too, they're not enough. Because
Mm.
rather you're too good, too great, too grown, too anything, too blessed. That should be a good thing. They should be celebrating you, not taking away from you because you think value of yourself. So
Mm.
when we start building our self-worth, then we'll start accepting worth from outside, but it got to come from us first.
That's right.
Nothing is going to change until you do. Nothing. And you can't even receive until you change your mindset. Then you start to receive a new thing. Then
Mm.
you start to receive a new message. Some of you are going to go through different experiences, watch the same recording over and over again. And after you go through certain experience, you'll get a different message each time because those experiences, what exposes you or what helps you focus more on one part of the statement than the other. I was talking to my daughter the other day, Dr. Toni, about the law of polarity,
Mhm.
how both sides presents itself at the same time. It's what we focus on that grows. So I shared with her a quarter. I said, you see the quarter, it's got heads or tails. So when you have a situation, somebody is presenting you, life is presenting you with a quarter, and it says to you, what are you going to focus on, heads or tails? They're both there at the same time. What are you going to focus on, the positive or the negative? The problem or the solution? Which one is it going to be, the heads or tails? Because whatever one you choose determines how you walk in this life. So if you want to go heads, and you say, I want to focus on the positivity, I want to focus on solution. When something happens to break you, you're breaking for solutions. You're not breaking for nothing. You're breaking because it's time to elevate. I just had a recent experience that just happened, and I could have took that and allowed myself to go into depression. But instead, I understood that this game was being played, and that it was designed for me to win. And I said, I'm going to see it all the way to the end. I risked everything I had, and I mean everything, to the end. And when you get to that point that you're willing to risk it all, see, that's a level of hurt right there you have to go through in order to just say, you know what? If I got to give up all of this to see where this take me, I'm going to do it. But that doesn't usually happen until you break. That doesn't usually happen until you see that all you're playing it safe didn't get you where you wanted to go. So when you get to that point where you're ready to risk it all, you're surprised at what you see. And that's what I did. I was surprised at how the game was rigged for me to win. It showed me that we were actually playing a game. I mean, who knew? You think that, but do you really think that? I said, who knew? We were playing the game all this time, and that game was designed for me to win. Well, I'm determined to win this. That determination allowed me to do some things I would have never thought to do. It allowed me to sacrifice some stuff I would have never sacrificed. It allowed me to hold on to whatever my spirit was saying, even if I didn't understand it. And that's the thing. We got to get to a point where even if we don't understand it, we got to trust the spirit. That spirit, it don't lead you wrong if you understand what side of the coin it's on. There's a positive, there's a negative. There's heads and there's tail. You are the head and not the tail. So why are we focusing on tail problems, tail issues, tail relationships, tail people, and tail teachings? We are the head. We have to focus on the head only. Now the tail has its place. Yes, it does, because it is the other side of the coin. So we're not going to throw away the tail, because it does give your life some flavor. It does give your life some balance. It does give your life some peace. You wouldn't even understand a head if you have not once flipped to a tail. It gives you the excitement to be able to choose. And sometimes that's all we need, is the ability to choose, the ability to know that we can. That's it. And once you know you can, you'll do whatever it takes. You know that can is somewhere. You'll do whatever it takes to get to that can. That's what I believe, Dr. Toni. We're breaking free from what's breaking us so that we can become anew.
Yeah, that's good. So that we can become anew. I like that, Tichette. I was taking notes, and I want to share some things about, some of the things you were talking about while you just shared with the visionaries and the attractive thinkers. I hope that you are capturing these gems, because you're going to need them. You might say, and so many times I've sat and, listened to lectures and speakers, and some of the things that they were saying were very true. And I may not have been experiencing them at that particular time, but I promise you, I needed them because it was up ahead. It was on my journey up ahead. And sometimes a message like this is preparing you for something that you're going to have to walk through up ahead. So make sure you capture these gems, attractive thinker and visionaries. Now, when we talk about breaking free, sometimes you have to break the rules. So you might say, well, Dr. Toni, what rules are you talking about? Normally, when we desire a change, or we want to move from here to there or take new action, we use feeling good as an indication, meaning you hear people say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Or sometimes we wait to feel bad or get mad or angry about something, and we use that energy and motivation to support our change, right? And support us in breaking free. But what about feeling good? What if you don't have to feel bad to make change? What if you just want to move from good to great? What if you just want greater? Sometimes you're waiting to feel a certain way. And if you're like me, and I pray that you're not in this particular area, because so many times, Tishet, because I'm such a compassionate and kind-hearted person, and I'm always thinking about not just how I feel, but how people that I serve and people that are on my team or people that I do business with, how they feel, and my family and friends, how they feel. Sometimes I have to get hurt really bad in order to take that next step, in order to make that decision. Sometimes, somebody has to say something to me that really hurts my feelings. And I'm like, well, why did they say that like that? Or I wouldn't have said that to them. Sometimes that happens. And instead of taking it personal, I know exactly. I'm telling you, when things come at me really harsh, I know exactly why it happened. It's because I didn't move or break free when I was supposed to break free. I want you to get this. I'm digging real deep here, attractive thinker, to help you understand the process of breaking free and what we encounter, what comes up in us when it's time to move from one place to the other, that we have planted our feet in, that is no longer serving us, is not helping us grow, is not helping us reach our fullest potential, is not helping us be better. We're no happier. So we have to learn how to let these things go. Sometimes you have to wake up to, it's like, oh, dang, I forgot. Wow, I haven't been happy in a while, or yeah, you're right. Every time I share an accomplishment or a vision or idea that I have, I don't get a response. I'm not being supported, or or I'm in a position that's draining me. Oh, you're right. I do get frustrated every time it's time to go to this meeting or this event. We got to check in with ourselves on a regular basis and check in with how we're feeling about the things that we're doing, because it's easy for this to go unnoticed and not understand that we're breaking in the process when we should be breaking free. We're breaking, sometimes, Tishet, we can break our own hearts. It doesn't have to come from the outside. Sometimes we can do things and take on roles and positions and make decisions and agree. That's a big one right there. Coming into agreement with things, that saying yes that when we should say no. That's breaking one of the rules right there. This beautiful person walks up on you, and they have such a beautiful spirit, and you really admire them, and they walk up on you and ask you to take on a position that you're not feeling, that you're not called to do. And because you don't want to hurt their feelings, because they are so sweet, you say yes instead of saying no. That's breaking your own heart. You put yourself in a position that was not for you, and now, with the same energy of not wanting to hurt their feelings, so you said yes, you now have to go through that again and face it again and not want to hurt their feelings to say no. You got to go through that whole process again, just to get out, just to break free from that situation. So this really runs deep when it calls for breaking free, because sometimes you can encounter someone and you say, did you leave the job yet? I know you said you wanted to start your business. Or did you leave the organization yet? I know you didn't want that position anymore. Or did you move? I know you wanted to move to another state. And not understanding what it takes for that particular person to break free in that particular area. We think that, it's common, should I say it this way, it's commonplace to think that people are just shucking and jiving when they say they want to leave a certain place or they want to break free, not fully understanding that they're struggling with the process and what they have to do, what they have to conquer and accomplish in the process of breaking free. It takes support to break free. It takes clarity to break free. It takes full belief in yourself to break free. It takes owning your worth and your value, knowing that you deserve this to break free. You have to know without a doubt that you deserve this. You might say, well, I have it good where I am, and I haven't really pursued breaking free because I don't have any worries. And well, you're not growing. And that should alarm you. Because again, you got to go back. It goes back to first establishing that your work, you're worthy of it. Establishing how great you are. and how fantastic and amazing your abilities are and how much further you can go in life. So when you establish that, it's a no-brainer. You don't sit there and say, well, I have it pretty good and I don't have to worry about anything, or I already know this routine. I don't have to learn anything new. That never crossed your mind when you understand your worth, because you understand that as soon as you realize you're getting comfortable, it's time to grow again. It's time to step out of that box, because that comfort zone will keep you from growing. That comfort zone will keep you from reaching your next potential. So we have to look at that. When we talk about breaking free, it calls for breaking some rules, like making no excuses for your decision. Tichet, you taught me no is a complete sentence. I
Mhm.
loved it. The first time I heard you say that, I was like, that is so freeing, because as soon as you say no, then the other person or party is going to say why, or what makes you say that, or how come you said no, or how come you didn't choose the position, or how come you stepped down, or whatever. As soon as you answer that, you're opening yourself up for their opinions to be greater than yours. You're opening yourself up for their opinions to be greater than what's best for you. So now you're saying you don't know what's best for you, but they do. That's why no is a complete sentence with a period behind it. It needs no explanation. That's breaking free from what's breaking you and breaking the rules in the process. The other thing that I wanted to highlight, to Shet, is in order to break free from what's breaking you, you have to start valuing what's breaking you more than what it's going to take for you to break free. Meaning the weight of what's breaking you, you have to make that more of a priority, more of your concern than the effort that it's going to take for you to break free. Meaning you look at what it's going to take for you to break free. This is going to change, that's going to change. Maybe this person won't want to be my friend anymore. I might have to move. I might have to get me another car, or I might have to find out how I'm going to bring in more income, or this person is not going to want to be a part of my team anymore. You consider the cost, right? But none of that weighs any greater than the cost of you breaking on the inside. When you understand your worth and your value, you understand you are all that you have, and everything that you have is valuable. What's breaking you is breaking your money, is breaking your health, is breaking your ideas and your creativity, your strength, your confidence, and your courage. You need confidence and courage to do this life. You need your confidence and courage to show up in life. And if something is breaking your ability to see yourself in a better light, it's too expensive. You're going to have to find a way to break free from it, whether it's getting support or mustering the courage or remembering who you are, whatever it takes. Trust me, we all have been there. I've broken free from so many systems in my life: the religious system, the educational system, the corporate system, and so many other systems, and even my own belief system. I've had to break away from my own belief system in order to move forward and grow and experience new worlds and new opportunities for myself. I can't take the old beliefs that I had as a child into my adult life if they're not serving me, if they're not helping me be the better version of myself. So this breaking free thing is a lot. And when you start breaking free from yourself, like you said, Tishet, we don't duct tape, keep patching up and stapling things when a whole new life is waiting for you. You don't have to patch up where you're going. It's already prepared. It's brand new. All you have to do is step into it. But before you step into it, you have to step out of where you are. And that's where the courage comes in at. Tisha, give us some lasting comments and tell attractive thinkers how they can stay in touch with you, the visual encourager.
Absolutely. There was certain things I was thinking about while you were talking, when you talking about the no. We have to get over the discomfort of our decisions, meaning we can't get used to being uncomfortable when we make a decision that's best for us,
Yes.
right? We can't always do what everybody wants us to do, because your spirit, especially if you're listening to our show, you're a Pathfinder, a Trailblazer, your life calls you to be a groundbreaker. When you're a groundbreaker, that means nobody walked over there yet. Nobody has made a place over there yet. So you are the first. So
Mm,
if you are the first, then your decision to be the first have to be okay. Your ability to say no has to be okay. And Dr. Tony, sometimes people will sit and they will wait for your excuse to why. And I remember one time you told me, say what you say and then breathe. State your price, state your business, state your claim, and then breathe. So, whatever your decision is for your life, state it and then breathe and let them deal with that. Because we can't keep carrying what other people want for us. We can't carry that. That's a heavy burden that weighs us down.
yes.
And that goes into another thing that we need to break free from what's breaking us is the ability to let it go. We gotta let go. We gotta let go of sometimes our earlier teachings. We have to let go of that thing we keep patching up, that thing we keep duct taping. Let it go. Do you not believe that if you let this go, that there's something greater waiting for you? That
Mm,
you have to clean out your closet in order to replace new stuff in it so that you don't become a hoarder. Sometimes we have people that are spiritual hoarders, that are friend hoarders. It's not just physical hoarding. We have people that hoarded all kinds of things. But when you hoard, you're not allowing the value of what you have to to be seen, to stand out because it's mixed up in all that confusion in the junk. You're trying to hoard people in your life, meaning you got 51 friends and not one of them came to see what you had to do. You
mm,
have 51, you have 51 friends and none of them contributed to your business. None of
mm,
them has told you that you're amazing.
mm,
You should be able to find comfort and courage from one
mm,
of them. So
mm,
I believe quality over quantity.
mhm,
So you got to be willing to let go of some things. I know that might have been your childhood friend. That might have been somebody you thought you was going to spend the rest of your life with. But let me tell you something. One thing is going to happen. You either got to let go of them or you're going to let go of you, and losing yourself is not an option. So
mm,
you're going to have to let go of some things in order to find yourself. Sometimes you're going to have to let go of that narrative. That narrative leads us into a decision making process that I don't think we all take in account for. Meaning, when we have a narrative in our head, let's take, for example, you're in part of a group, let's say a 5-person group, and you have a narrative that everybody stabs you in the back. That's your narrative, right? That everybody stabs you in the back. You can't trust anybody. You're in this group with 5 people and you don't trust anybody. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people that don't deserve your trust. And trust to me is deserved, is earned, not given. You gotta earn trust sometimes, but there's sometimes where you're gonna have to trust somebody. You gotta be bold and courageous to trust somebody in order for you to see number one, what's breaking you, and number two, how to break free from what's breaking you. Because as long as you're thinking everybody in your group is stealing or backstabbing, or you have this narrative of negativity, you'll only seek out the negativity in them. And guess what happens? It reflects back to you. So
mm,
that narrative you have in your head is going to reflect back to you. So when you keep getting a certain narrative, figure out which mirror you're standing in and how to change that mirror, because that mirror has to change with you. So when you're in this group of people, and you allow them to present themselves as they are. And when somebody shows you who they
mhm,
are, believe them.
mhm,
Don't make excuses for it. Don't
mhm,
say, "Oh, they was just tired. They was just drunk. They was just this. They was."
mhm,
Don't make no excuses for it. If they
mhm.
show you who they are,
Yes.
believe them the first time so you cannot go through that a second time. I
Yes.
have a friend that say, "You're not gonna get me twice. You're not gonna get me twice. And once you get her once, that's it."
Yes.
That is admirable because that gift of goodbye
Yes.
allows you to go through things, meaning You get to have more friends, and then if that don't work out, you move, and then you got another friend.
Yes,
You
the
go through a
trend.
house. You're not
Yeah,
stuck. You're
that's
not stuck at a job. You're not stuck at a house. You're not stuck in a relationship. You're not stuck at a church. You allow yourself to experience life as it is.
mhm,
And then when you know another thing, when you know you're in a game and you're experiencing life, you're not so serious about it that you're trying to hold so tight to it that you won't let it go, that it's causing you to become stuck. I heard somebody say this morning, they said it's like they was given a scenario, and they said it's like a child who her mother took her to the store and bought her a rabbit, but she was holding on so tight to the rabbit that she squeezed it with love and killed it. And
mhm,
sometimes that's how we do. We hold on to stuff so strong that we actually kill it. We hold on
mhm,
the vision so strong that we actually kill it. And sometimes you gotta let go and see if it comes back to you.
mhm,
I want the things that are assigned to me, that are here for me for as long as it is here for me. When it's done. And
mhm,
let that go. And that's okay, because we everything, what they say, the only thing that constant is change. We got to accept change as it is, and that's as change. And we got to be okay with that. So if you feel like you're in a place of stuck, and you're trying to break free from breaking you, and you're trying to find yourself to understand what the break is, you can find people just like yourself by going to our website at www.visualencouragement.com, and also the attractivethinker.guru. There's so many of us out here. But if you are a first time groundbreaker, a trailblazer, a pathfinder, you desire to move mountains, and you need help lifting the heaviness so that you can live out the life you created for yourself, then you are a visionary. Go to my contact us page at www.visualencouragement.com. Put in your information. Let me know how I can encourage you, uplift you, and enlighten you so that you, visionary, can live the life that you deserve to live. Again, my website, www.visualencouragement.com. See you soon.
Awesome, 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 awesome. Attractive thinkers, y'all were fed very well today, for sure. Tichet, it was something that you said that I want to leave with the attractive thinkers and visionaries today. And it is, you're either going to have to let go or lose you, and losing you is not an option. Dr. Toni Hatton here, your identity coach and get to the root specialist at theattractivethinker.guru, where we support new and aspiring entrepreneurs with mental healing, mental strength, and mindset maintenance so your dreams can become your reality. Visit the clarity.theattractivethinker.guru website, because if you're struggling to break free, I can help you with that. You always hear us say, our life's work, that's to make your life better. Remember, it is not what you're going through, it's how you're viewing it. Think attractively. We'll see you soon. Awesome.